Hey everyone, I want to show you a quick trick for graphing online that will help you in some of your experiments this semester, or may help you. So first off, if you have access to Microsoft Excel, you should use it. The real version of Microsoft Excel that you run on your own computer is by far the best spreadsheet software that you can use. Learning it is well worth your time for most people in their future classes, careers, etc. So this is Microsoft Excel. If you can use the actual offline full version, do it. If not, then sometimes you have a limited functionality in generating your graphs and figuring out equations for the line, making sure it goes through zero, other things like that. The online versions of Excel, Google Sheets, lots of other things are not that great. So first off, here's a few options. The first thing is there are plenty of open source spreadsheet software out there. So I would recommend, if you're not going to run Excel, then that you try something like Open Office Sheets, or so you go to Open Office Downloads, and they actually have a spreadsheet program that works great, and you could learn how to do that. This would download it, and they'll have a spreadsheets program. There's another one, K-Office. And you could just Google, I don't know where the download for that is, but you could just Google open source spreadsheet or open source office suite and read what people think are the best ones. LibreOffice, OpenOffice, all of those will have it, and they'll have almost the same functionality as Microsoft Excel. So that's also a really excellent option. If you don't want to do that, and you want something to do right now that will provide you some good graph functionality, then here's another alternative, and I think this is a good simple one that you could use right away. So there's an online graph maker that will do what you need, at least for this class, and it's at the website. I'll hopefully post a link with this, but if I don't, it's chart.studio.plotly.com. And you'll be able to figure it out from there. You could probably just go to plotly.com and figure it out. So it'll open like this. This will be essentially where you enter your data, and then down here will be where it graphs. So I'm just going to make up some data really quick. I'm going to go to this first column, and I'm just going to enter 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'll go to the second, and I'll enter maybe like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and 0.44. Why not all the same? I don't know. I'm just doing it that way. So it doesn't really matter here. We're just tracing it out, figuring it out. So those are entered. It's information in the sheet. In chemistry, we usually prefer to enter 0.1, 0.2. A lot of spreadsheets would put the zeros in there for you. This one didn't, so I want to make sure and go ahead and do that. Okay, so there you go. So now to enter a plot here, you click Add a Trace. Scatter plot is what we always want. Choose where you're getting the X data from. You decide. I don't know whether you're A column or B column or your X or Y data, so you decide which one is appropriate to go where. You could do it the other way. It's just what you need. And that gives you a graph down here at the bottom. Now, do you want something else? You want some kind of a line on there usually, right? So you go to Analyze, Curve Fitting. So up here again, add a curve fit to the plot. Let's call it Trace 0. What do you want it to be? Do you want it to be linear, quadratic? What do you want? So we're going to go with linear. And if you say run, it'll plot it. It'll put that on the line. And then remember that we're always getting our lines in the y equals mx plus b form, right? So the m and b values are over here. So that's what it's telling you, that the equation of this line is y equals m is this one right here, 0.11200 times x plus b is this, negative 0.0200. So most often this is what you want, but let's say you're doing an experiment and for some reason they want you to set the intercept to 0. Well, this has that functionality pretty easily right here. It's a locking function and you tell it whatever you want that b value to be. So if we just turn on the lock and set this to 0 and then re-click run, it'll give us a new equation for that line. And now still in the form y equals mx plus b except that b is 0. We've set b to be 0, so now it's just y equals mx. Y equals m is 0.10533 times x. That's the new equation for our line. It's a pretty super easy graphing system. You don't have to download any software. Again, I'm going to circle back one more time. If you can use Microsoft Excel, do it. If you can't, the next best is OpenOffice or LibreOffice or something like that. Just Google what the best open source spreadsheet program is. If you don't have any time for that or you don't want to for whatever reason, come here.